What's up, everybody? Welcome to the V2 Lab channel. I wanted to do not really a vlog today. It's more of an industry video. So this is for you guys that want to throw your own car show, car meet, car event, anything. Even if you just want to throw your own regular event. This is the secret sauce that you need to know. So if you aren't familiar with who I am, I'm Ravi. I own V2 Lab. I used to throw the Mystery Meet. That was the event that took place in downtown Orlando a couple years back. Basically outgrew the city. The last event I threw down there did like 80 to 100,000 people. Then they started construction, so we ended up moving the event to the track. The event got crazy there too. I mean, we ended up I basically just got out of it. I wanted to do some other stuff, but I wanted to give some knowledge and help you guys get your events going so that I have something to attend in the future. So, you know, my secret sauce to all of this, the whole magic, the magic ingredient that you need to know is creating an experience. You have to create an experience for your people that are coming to your event. You have to take into account, when you're planning an event, you basically want to say to yourself, is this an event that I want to attend? When I threw my event, that was what I was saying to myself. I was like, this is the event that I dreamed of when I was a kid. It had, cars, it had rap battles, it had sneaker stuff, it had graffiti, it had art, it had everything that I had ever wanted to put in one place at one time, and I created the experience in a location that no one else could get. You know what I mean? It was basically not the same old junk over and over and over again. It wasn't another car show in another parking lot. And I really wanted to touch on that. I really want people who are throwing future events so that I can attend to just go outside of the box. I mean, it's real easy to just go get the average parking lot that everyone uses, the event venue that hosts car shows, that have 3 and 4 shows a year from different promoters, or the convention center. And I understand the convention centers are the safe bet for traveling events. That's fine, whatever. But you have to create an experience. Take for instance Atlantic Street Movement. The dude's name is Chris. Chris threw an event inside of a mall. No one's ever seen that before. He created an experience that no one's ever seen, at a venue that no one's ever been to. So we all came in, the show was in the mall, it was different, it was atmospheric, everybody was taking pictures. It created a vibe that no one else had done before. And I want other promoters to take that into account when they're going into doing their own car shows or car events. Look for new venues, look for new experiences, and create experiences. Create memorable, long-lasting gems for people. Generational gems. In 10 years, people are going to be like, yo, you remember that time we shut the city down? Or you remember that time we had a car show in the mall? Or you remember that time we were at an airport, but we actually got to hang out and park under the planes? That was another Atlantic Street Movement too. So I'm giving them, 2 shout outs. The difference in vibes creates so much more for people that everybody talks about it from year to year. I hate that there are so many car shows that are literally ego-based driven shows, where the only defining factor of going to the show is saying hey, we picked the best cars from the area and that's what's going to be here. There's no other experience. The show's quiet. There's no one's really talking. We're there for 8 hours. The problem with those kinds of shows is that you've literally been to every car show in your own area for the rest of the year, so you know all the cars that are going to be there. So if they don't create another experience, what's the point of you paying a premium price to go to a show that you've already seen all the cars at? It's silly. And then have to hang out for 8 hours in a building? Why? Give me more. Give me an experience, create something else. Your ego shouldn't be the defining factor of the show. That shouldn't be the defining factor on whether you want to go to a show or not. Oh, my ego got stroked, so here I am. There's no experience in that. 2 months later, that show is a wash. You won't talk about it ever again. Convention center shows in general are kind of boring. I mean, it's kind of the same song and dance every time you go to one of these shows. There's a stage, there's a DJ on the stage, there's an obnoxious host that no one cares about, there's a bikini contest, there's an RC car track on the ground. Same thing, every event, same junk. Show up super early, gotta have a quarter tank of gas, everybody's tired, it's super early, it's super long, it's super drawn out. I get it, whatever. Those shows, same thing, it's always the same thing. The positive to some of those shows is that sometimes they bring people in from other states and you get to see a couple different cars that you've never seen, but 95% of the cars there are the same cars that show up to every single event anyways, so it's whatever. Open air shows always do better than convention center shows, and from a media standpoint and a photo standpoint and a coverage standpoint, they're always going to be better photos of the cars rolling in or rolling out. or on the beach or at the venue or somewhere outside, anywhere but in the show. In the show is always the worst. That's always the least important part of the experience. If you want to create an experience for a show that's like in a venue like that, you have to create around the venue. You have to do a show in like in a city or a state or something along those lines that people want to attend. The show is the least important part of the show. The experience that brings people to the show is what is the selling point. Like, remember SoWo in Georgia, or H2OI in Maryland and Ocean City? The show itself, no one talks about. Like, no one cares about the show. Everyone goes for the experience surrounding the show. The show still makes money if you're the promoter, but the gist of it is that everybody's coming to the cities and these places because the cities are so photogenic and vibrant, and there's a whole experience that comes along with it. The downside to that is that there comes a point where the show loses all usefulness, right? Like, people stop even going to the show and they just show up to the cities because there's now a staple in the city for this event to exist. You gotta be careful, that's a real fine line, but basically you're just wanting to create the first initial experience. You can sell your merch, you can get away with making a ton of money based on like pre-sales of merch, stickers, experience items, stuff like that. Even if your show doesn't do well, people will support just because they've associated the name with the event and the time. Every great show that you've ever been to in your life, and this is for somebody who's attending shows, all of those shows you talk about when you leave. You tell people about for weeks after. You tell people you can't wait till the next year. It's because the experience of the event was so good that you want to return. That's what creating a lasting impression and creating just an atmosphere or a location or finding something new does to people. Like, it makes people want to come back. It makes people want to talk about your show. It makes people want to like follow you around, to travel with your events, because you created such a good experience. All I'm saying is stop doing the same thing at the same venues over and over and over again and expecting different results. You're going to get the same people, you're going to make a few bucks here and there, whatever, cool. I'm glad you got your little cash grab. But if you want to be a legend, you want to be known, you want to be remembered, you need to create an experience for people. None of these shows that are traveling or doing anything, none of these people are legends, none of these people anyone cares about. If their show ends tomorrow, someone will just replace them with the same show with a different name, and no one will ever know that they're gone. Doesn't matter. Is that who you want to be when you throw your shows? Or, hey, maybe that is. Maybe you want to make a few dollars and that's it, and you don't care. But for the people who want to build memorable events, who want to do crazy stuff that people will remember and talk about for 10, 20 years from now, create an experience. Focus on the experience. Focus on giving people something to remember. I remember, what was like 20 years ago, I went to Daytona for a tuner bash from like Super Street Import Tuner and whatever. It was nuts. It was this vibe, this feeling, this atmosphere, and it was like a destination. I mean, every year I got tickets that I'd go out there, but you know what? Aside from me telling you the story of how I got getting tickets and all this nonsense, I never talk about the tickets. I always talk about how amazing the event was, how insane it was, how crazy the atmosphere was, the people that were there, the cars that were there. Because in 10 years, you never talk about the bad. You always talk about all the amazing experiences you had. So, I want to close out this video, and I want to let you guys know, if you're throwing an event and this is what you're trying to do, you're really trying to build, focus on the experience. That's the secret sauce. That's it. That is everything you need to know. Don't worry about the cash grab. Don't worry about that. I threw one of the biggest events ever in Central Florida, like literally crazy huge event. Had no money in my bank. I literally just approached people with the idea of what I was trying to do, and I sold it. I made a proposal and I made it work. I funded the whole thing through vendors. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully you're looking for the experience, and hopefully you're chasing it and you're trying to give your patrons something awesome to attend. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and, I don't know, help me get some followers. Maybe I'll make some money and throw something crazy for you guys in the future. See you guys.